The AI revolution is here, but it's missing a payment rail. Everyone's talking about AI like it's the second coming of the internet. And in some ways, it is. Generative AI is disrupting media, finance, logistics, insurance, customer service, everything. But here's the part nobody's talking about. AI can make the decision, it can analyze the risk, it can even predict the outcome, but it still can't move money. That's the bottleneck. AI is evolving into a network of autonomous agents. Bots that optimize supply chains, price risk in real time, underwrite loans in milliseconds, or manage algorithmic trading strategies 24/7. But once those agents reach a decision, they're still chained to the old financial system. And that system moves like it's stuck in the 1970s. Let's be blunt. Swift isn't built for bots. ACH isn't settling anything in real time. And even so-called instant rails like FedNow are locked behind centralized permissioning. AI doesn't just need data. It needs execution. It needs to act on insight instantly without human intervention. And that's the part the market is missing. Because while everyone is throwing money into OpenAI and NVIDIA, nobody's asking how this emerging intelligence layer is actually going to move capital, programmatically, compliantly, and globally. Let's zoom in. Ethereum is powerful, but slow and congested. The fees are all over the place, and if you're running thousands of microtransactions per second with razor-thin margins, good luck. Solana is fast on paper, but unstable and has zero clarity on compliance. XRP, it's fast and cheap, but lacks on-chain programmability until hooks are fully live, and it's still fundamentally tailored for institutional messaging, not autonomous AI logic. But Stellar's a different story. Stellar has been quietly building the rails AI actually needs. Not the flashy, hype-driven rails with TVL metrics and meme coins, but rails that are fast, cheap, predictable, and compliant. We're talking about sub-5-second finality. Fractions of a cent in transaction cost. Native support for issuing regulated assets. Trust lines that define who can hold what. A network designed to be used by machines and humans alike, not speculators. This is the core mismatch that almost nobody sees. AI is growing exponentially in intelligence, but its ability to act in the real economy is still stuck behind outdated systems. There's a growing gap between the cognitive power of AI and the execution layer it needs to actually make things happen. And guess who's sitting right in the middle of that gap? Stellar. This is the setup. Everyone's watching AI, but no one's asking what settlement layer will power it. And while the market chases hype, Stellar is positioning itself as the backbone for machine-driven finance, a real-time, programmable, regulated payment layer that AI systems can actually use. And by the time Wall Street wakes up to it, they'll already be late. Why Stellar's design makes it the ideal AI settlement layer. Let's get something straight. Not all blockchains are built the same, especially when it comes to AI. Everyone loves to scream high TPS, like it's the holy grail. But in the real world, especially in AI-driven systems, raw transactions per second mean nothing without one critical piece: deterministic finality. That means the transaction is done, locked, confirmed, no probabilistic nonsense, no waiting for 20 confirmations. It's over. Final. That's what AI needs. Why? Because an AI agent making autonomous financial decisions doesn't have time to wait 15 minutes for network consensus. It needs to trigger, execute, and settle instantly, with no margin for ambiguity. That's where Stellar quietly crushes the competition. Stellar doesn't just offer speed, it offers predictable speed. Finality in 3 to 5 seconds. Every time. Not sometimes 2 seconds, sometimes 30. Not if the network isn't congested. Not depending on gas fees. Just clean, consistent, mechanical execution. That's what AI wants. That's what AI needs. Now look at fees. AI applications aren't sending a few big transfers a day. They're firing off hundreds, even thousands of micropayments per second. Whether it's an AI managing global inventory with tokenized invoices, or an algorithmic energy grid releasing payments based on real-time consumption, these aren't $10 million wires. These are fractions of a cent, fired automatically. And here's the punchline. Stellar handles those for less than 1/10 of a cent, every single time. Ethereum, That'll cost you $20 to $50 during congestion. Solana? Cheaper, yes, but with frequent outages and questions around validator centralization, can you trust it to run critical infrastructure? AI agents need uptime and determinism, not network halts and rewinds. But it's not just cost or speed. Stellar was designed with compliance in mind from day one. It's the only chain with native trust line mechanics, meaning assets can only be held by parties explicitly approved to hold them. That's huge for AI systems managing regulated assets like tokenized dollars, euros, carbon credits, or securities. If you're running a permission DeFi protocol governed by AI, Stellar lets you encode who can hold what down to the wallet. And that's what makes Stellar different. Most chains are trying to bolt on compliance after the fact. Stellar built it in. That's the difference between speculation tech and real-world infrastructure. Now picture this. A smart sensor attached to a shipping container tracks delivery milestones. When the cargo reaches port, it triggers a machine learning model that verifies location, condition, and authenticity. That model sends a confirmation to Stellar, which then releases a tokenized USDC payment to the supplier. No middlemen, no clearinghouse, no bank delay. That's not theory. That's already happening. AI isn't just ChatGPT. It's intelligent systems running logistics, finance, compliance, and energy. All of them need to do one thing once the decision is made: move money. And there are only a handful of networks even remotely capable of handling that at scale. Stellar is one of them. The market doesn't see it yet. But this is the big picture. While Ethereum is busy launching meme coins, Stellar is building the rails that AI agents are going to use to move value globally, in real time with finality and with built-in compliance. This isn't about hype. It's about design. And Stellar was designed for exactly what's coming next. How Soroban smart contracts supercharge AI integration. So, we've established Stellar has the payments infrastructure AI needs: fast, cheap, and deterministic. But here's the real unlock: decision-making at the protocol layer. Because it's one thing for AI to trigger payments, it's another for those payments to respond dynamically to real-world logic. And that's where Soroban comes in. For years, Stellar's one weakness was its limited programmability. You had to rely on off-chain logic to trigger payments, making it harder for truly autonomous systems to run natively. But with Soroban, that bottleneck is gone. Soroban is Stellar's smart contract engine. But this isn't some Frankenstein clone of Ethereum or Solana. It's purpose-built, built in Rust, optimized for performance, and designed from the ground up to be safe, scalable, and predictable. Just like the core Stellar network. And here's why that matters for AI. AI systems don't just want to send money. They want to react to outcomes, evaluate logic, and autonomously manage contracts based on changing inputs in real time. That means insurance payouts triggered by weather or sensor data. Microloans released when machine learning models validate identity and credit risk. Compliance checks embedded directly into transaction logic. That's what Soroban enables. It's not just about smart contracts for DeFi degens. This is about intelligent, on-chain logic built for real-world systems. AI can now plug directly into Stellar's network, not just to move value, but to govern how and when value moves, with programmable conditions, triggers, and real-world data feeds. Let me give you a real example. Imagine an AI running a decentralized logistics network. Tracks every vehicle, every delivery, every delay. When a shipment hits a verified destination on time, the AI triggers a smart contract on Soroban. That contract releases payment to the delivery agent, updates the inventory ledger, and here's the kicker: if there's a delay or failure, it routes a fallback payment to a backup supplier. No human oversight, no delays, just logic. Scale. That's not possible with Ethereum gas fees. That's not reliable on chains with unstable uptime. But on Stellar plus Soroban, that's the sweet spot. Real-world AI, real-world execution, real-time payments. And we're not just talking one AI system here. We're talking entire networks of intelligent agents, each managing logistics, compliance, risk, all interacting through smart contracts on Stellar. This is machine-to-machine commerce. And it's coming faster than anyone expects. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Soroban doesn't just enable logic, it does it in a compliance-forward way. Unlike other chains where smart contracts can break protocol or expose sensitive data, Soroban is designed for security and auditability, which is critical when AI is managing regulated assets. Every action can be verified. Every state change can be monitored. Every decision can be audited. Wall Street isn't watching this. They're still stuck thinking crypto means dog coins and yield farms. Meanwhile, Stellar is laying the foundation for programmable finance at machine speed, where AI agents negotiate, trigger, and execute complex logic through contracts that can settle in seconds, not days. And Soroban's architecture? It scales horizontally. That means AI agents don't have to wait in line for network resources like on Ethereum. They can execute logic on demand, deterministically, without gas wars or auction fees. Now imagine what happens when you combine that with tokenized assets. AI-driven money markets, real-time supply chain credit, decentralized carbon trading powered by autonomous agents that audit, validate, and execute trades based on IoT and satellite data. This isn't 10 years out. The infrastructure is already live. AI plus Soroban equals programmable execution at the edge of intelligence. And nobody's pricing that into Stellar's valuation. Not yet. Real-world use cases, Stellar's AI-ready ecosystem in action. You want to know the difference between hype and traction. Look at who's actually using the tech. Because while everyone else is chasing vaporware and vapor partnerships, Stellar has been slowly, almost suspiciously quietly, lining up the kind of integrations that make it the backbone of machine-driven money movement. Let's start with the big one, MoneyGram. This isn't some DeFi startup or pilot test in a lab. This is one of the largest global cash networks on the planet, fully integrated with Stellar. As in real fiat on-ramps and off-ramps, across more than 180 countries, already connected to blockchain rails. And here's where it gets crazy. AI systems need to interact with the real world. That means interfacing with cash economies, human users, and physical delivery. Stellar plus MoneyGram is the bridge. An AI application managing remittances or aid distribution. It can send a stablecoin over Stellar, and the recipient can instantly pick up cash via MoneyGram. No bank account needed. No SWIFT. No delay. That's AI settlement at the edge of civilization. And it's already live. Now let's talk about Palau's US dollar stablecoin. This isn't a private project. This is a sovereign nation issuing a government-backed digital currency directly on Stellar. Why? Because of Stellar's compliance framework, trust line architecture, and programmable settlement capabilities. AI financial agents can't just use random stablecoins floating around with questionable backing. They need real, regulated, verifiable assets. Palau's stablecoin on Stellar provides just that. And as more governments tokenize their currencies, the AI systems running global trade will look for blockchains that support compliance, transparency, and instant finality. That narrows the list real fast. Here's another one the market is sleeping on: UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, running blockchain-based aid disbursement, again on Stellar. Why? Because it's reliable, scalable, and works with real-world endpoints. And here's where the AI connection clicks in. Humanitarian aid is increasingly using predictive models and AI allocation systems to determine where funds are needed most, before disasters happen. But once the algorithm makes the call, you need settlement infrastructure to actually execute those payments. That's Stellar. Now scale that out. AI models managing supply chain credits, carbon offsets, agricultural loans, and disaster relief. All of those models need a programmable payment layer with instant global reach, low cost, and regulatory trust. Stellar isn't just a candidate, it's the only one in production right now with that kind of real-world footprint. But we're not done. Let's talk Palau, the trade finance startup building on Soroban. This is next-gen DeFi, not focused on yield farming, but on tokenized receivables. As in AI agents that can autonomously manage B2B credit, release payments, score risk, and rebalance exposure. All running on Stellar smart contracts. That's real-world DeFi. That's what AI wants. Palau is using Soroban to issue tokenized invoices, handle credit logic, and create machine-readable liquidity protocols. Now imagine AI agents monitoring inventory levels, triggering orders, and using tokenized trade credit to settle, all in real time without human intermediaries. Again, this is not a white paper. This is live code. And behind the scenes, XLM is the engine making that value flow. While Ethereum drowns in gas fees and Solana fights uptime wars, Stellar is integrating with national governments, legacy payment networks, and UN agencies. These aren't tech demos, these are production-grade use cases. And here's the kicker. Every single one of these integrations, whether it's a government-backed stablecoin, a humanitarian payout, or a decentralized trade finance platform, can be augmented by AI. From dynamic risk pricing to autonomous execution, AI is the logic. But Stellar is the pipe. AI doesn't work without settlement. And Stellar is the only network combining speed, compliance, cost efficiency, and now programmability through Soroban in a way that real-world actors actually trust. So while everyone else is asking which L1 will host the next meme coin, the smart money is asking, which blockchain is going to power the AI economy? And all signs point to Stellar. Why XLM could be the backbone of AI finance, and no one's talking about it. AI is creating autonomous agents that can make decisions, assess risk, and optimize operations, but they need financial rails to function in the real world. Stellar is one of the only blockchains that can deliver this at scale with compliance, speed, and cost efficiency. Machine-driven economies, from automated trade finance to smart energy markets, need programmable money. As AI grows, demand for reliable on-chain execution will grow with it. Stellar is not competing for hype. It's already integrated. XLM's real advantage is not just in being fast or cheap. It's in being the first network that's actually usable for the financial agents of the AI era. End with the idea. By the time Wall Street wakes up to Stellar's role in AI finance, it may already be too late. If you're not watching how AI and XLM are merging, you're going to miss the next trillion-dollar opportunity. Subscribe to Be Crypto Smart to stay ahead of the institutions. We break what others won't even touch.